Hello world, hello Young Living family. I am pretty sure that by now you guys all know that Young Living oils are the bomb.com. They're so great, in fact, that they're better than bacon, egg, and cheese, bacon, lettuce, and tomato, chicken, sauce, and noodles. I mean, pick any three things that you think are incredible, and Young Living is better than that. And my wife has been, many of you know her. Oh, it's fine. I'm just stopping because, you know, we have planes that fly around where we live, and I don't really want the plane jumping in my video, you know? I could have stopped it, started over, like most of you guys do. But I just said, forget it. Who cares about being professional, right? It's about fun. It's about oil. It's about life. It's about love. Now, I've been using Young Living essential oils for a long time now. And I'm finally coming out and admitting it. Yes, I too use Young Living essential oils. I know. And I was one of those guys that was completely against it. I was like, my wife was talking about how she really wanted these oils, and I was like, this is just going to be another one of those things where you can run around throwing it on everybody, being a witch doctor and doing your voodoo. I don't want to be a part of it. Turns out so much more than that. It ended up being the best thing that ever happened to our family. She makes tons of videos. She's incredible. However, she decided that it was about time that I make one. I fought her long and hard, and I said, I don't want to do this. You know, can I just be me? I just want to be me. I don't want to do videos. But she says, no, you're going to do a video. So finally, here we are. And now, before I tell you what this video is actually about, it's important that you understand that there is something missing in all of our lives, period. There's an element missing. And everyone's looking for the missing piece. For some of us, that missing piece is religion. For some of us, that missing piece is we feel like we don't have anybody we can share life with. For some of us, that missing piece is a hobby or an activity. But for most of us, usually there's something small missing. And once we find it, it seems to just add to the value of our life. It adds to the quality of our life. And me being a pastor, I'm all about wholeness. I'm all about wellness. I'm all about things just being balanced. The name of our church is actually called Summit. And Summit means summit. And so I wanted to be able to be at the summit in every area of my life. I didn't realize, though, that part of what would help me get to the summit would be Young Living essential oils. So today's video is actually on two particular oils that you will not find in your essential everyday oil kit. However, they're amazing. And these two particular oils absolutely changed my life. The first oil that I want to talk to you today about is this little beautiful, pretty blue colored, amazing jar of wonder, and it's called Surrender. I don't know if you can see that, but here, let me turn it around. Anyway, just take my word for it. It says Surrender. The second one that I'm going to talk to you about is Acceptance. See, there it is, nice and beautiful for you. Ta-da! Yes. Now it's important to know that how I came to know these two particular oils. My wife was like, I want to scan you. We got an iTovi. She's insane. And she's like, I want to scan you. You need to scan so we can see what oils you need. And I was like, well, if I'll let you tell it, I need them all. She was like, no, you scan with the iTovi, then you'll be able to see what oils are recommended for where you are right now. Okay. Pull out your little doodad, your gadget. She pulls it out and the app and the thing, and she's to hold it and it buzzes and it vibrates. At first I thought she was trying to kill me, but I realized she was just trying to help me. So I scanned, and the two oils that I scanned for were Surrender and Acceptance. And I was like, wait a minute, what kind of mess is this? I thought for sure I'd scan for like Lemon or Excite or something that's real alive and vibrant, not Surrender and Acceptance. I was like, what do I need to surrender? What do I need to accept? This is nonsense. iTovi is wrong. We need to rescan. Turns out iTovi is great and said exactly what I needed. She says, oh, don't worry. I've already put them on our next ER order, and they're coming soon, and you can start using them. Okay, great. So they come in the mail. Get the box. Got the beautiful YL logo on it. I'm like, oh, what's that? She's like, your oils came? I said, okay, now what? Use them. Okay. Every day I put a little bit on. A little bit on my wrist. Do one of these deals. You know, one of these deals. Put some on my hand. Rub it over my face, my neck. Basically just bathe in it. It became a substitute for cologne. And every day, like clockwork, I would put on this surrender, and I would put on the acceptance, still not understanding what I needed to surrender and what I needed to accept. That's half the battle, because it's not just knowing why, it's not just knowing that I scanned for them, but why I scanned for them. And little did I know that I would soon find out that the reason why I scanned for these oils at the time that I did was because I was going through a very difficult time in my life. Some areas related to ministry, some of it related to just me being a 36-year-old man, some of it related to me being a father and a husband, and needing to surrender to what was actually going on. And in my mind, being a man of faith, being a man of God, you immediately think, well, wait a minute, if it's the moment you start surrendering, you're admitting that you're waving the white flag, I surrender, I don't want to fight anymore. And I was like, well, I don't want to give up the fight. And then it dawned on me that that's not what surrender means. And then I said, well, I don't necessarily want to accept this either, because accepting this is like admitting defeat, and like this is just what it's going to be. And I believe in the power of words and speaking, and speaking life into things and speaking hope into dead situations. I believe in that. So for me, these two oils seemed like I was getting ready to quit. We don't quit over here. So after a while, I realized what the surrender helped me to do was realize that in all of my efforts and in all of my attempts to build a life, I was actually going against the plan. I was going against the grain. God has a plan for every one of our lives. Absolutely. And sometimes we get a whiff of what we think that is, and we run off like squirrels, trying to build, gathering nuts, gathering what we need to try to build based off of a whiff. Instead of realizing that sometimes when we run off of that whiff, we're actually going against the very plan that we've been asking God for. We start to go against the very thing we've been praying, hoping that God would do in our lives. We start to go away from that. Me realizing that that's actually what was happening, it was time for me to surrender. It was time for me to surrender to the will and realize that something needed to change. I can honestly tell you that as far as the emotional oils go, surrender, it was a big deal. This oil holds a very, very special place in my heart now, because it's helped me to remember that I have to constantly surrender to the will of God. It's something that I have to do every single day. I have to surrender. I have to surrender to what He's telling me, what He's showing me. I have to surrender. And guess what? I'm not alone. Many of you need to surrender too. This oil will absolutely, absolutely change your life. Then we get to this bad boy. And this is a bad boy. It's called acceptance. Now this is hard, especially for those of us that are in denial. Acceptance is not our friend when we're in denial. And I realized that what I was needing to accept was this. It's okay for us to accept things the way they are without condemning ourselves for this to always be. Acceptance is not about, fine, I accept it, and I'm just accepting something that's small and something that's not great or something that isn't awesome. No, acceptance is just saying, look, if I want to go forward, I got to be realistic about where I am. Because if I can't be realistic about where I am, how in the world am I supposed to move forward? I don't even know what I'm moving forward to or how if I don't know where I am. All acceptance did was help me to realize this is what it is. And that's okay. And now that you know this is what it is, we can build a new plan. See, but that's where we messed up in the first place. Now, instead of building a new plan, I am now coming to with the foresight, to surrender to God's plan. And so now, acceptance and surrender are a part of my everyday life. So these have become a part of the everyday essential oils, the everyday and living essential oils, because these are the two oils that help me to get incredible breakthrough. They help me to see all of the blessings that were already before me. It helped me to see where I was and how I ended up on the wheel called the rat race, and how everything that I was doing, it was wearing me down and bogging me down. It wasn't helping, it wasn't uplifting, it wasn't changing anything. These oils helped me to absolutely see that. So you may be saying to yourself, for those of you that stuck it all the way through and you've actually made it to this point, you're like, what is this joker talking about? If you actually made it to this point, you realize now then that as I've been talking to you, there's some things in your life that you're ready to surrender. There's even some things that you're ready to accept. And just because you surrender doesn't mean you're quitting. And just because you accept isn't saying that this is how it will always be. It's important that you know where you are right now. And guess what? I give you permission as a pastor, as a man of faith, to accept things as they are so that you can reorganize, restructure, reprioritize your life and figure out how you move forward. Now, let's keep it 100, okay? Well, let's keep it 100. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a new word. Let's keep it 100, not 100, because 100 is spelled HUNNIT. 100. We're gonna keep it 100 right now. And to keep it 100, acceptance alone and surrender alone, not gonna do it. It's not gonna happen. For me, it was a little surrender, a little acceptance, a lot of Jesus, and a lot of prayer, and a lot of humility. But I believe that these two essential oils have changed everything for me and for my family. So if you're looking for a new oil to add to your ER order, if you're looking to gain some type of insight, or you want to put yourself in a position to go into a different trajectory, then give surrender a try. Give acceptance a try. Good? Next time, see you soon. Have a blessed day.